All right, honors. How are you guys? I wanted to do this with a video, well, if nothing else, just because today is May 4th, or at least in your world. And as you know, May 4th is Star Wars Day. I hope you know that. Why is May 4th Star Wars Day? Because on May 4th, may the 4th be with you. So you get it? So I wore my Star Wars tie, little Darth Vader's. Um, so today I'm going to talk to you about your honors essay, which will be divided up into 5 assignments. I'm going to do a share screen so that you can see the prompts, but I really want you to hopefully listen to what I'm telling you, because I think what I'm going to tell you is much more clear than the written prompt. You can freeze at any time and reread it, and I think it'll make more sense. But a couple things before I even show you the prompt. The format. So in the assignments, both on Google Classroom, which isn't really official, and then in Progress Book, which is, I'm going to list it as a weekly assignment. It is a 10-point assignment for the intro, for 10 points the next week for the first body paragraph, second body paragraph, so on and so forth over the next 5 weeks. So it will be broken up into those chunks. What I'd like you to do, no matter which essay you have, is to submit it, keep resubmitting what your essay is. In other words, I'm going to assign it, and you're going to attach a Google Doc, and you're going to write your intro. And that will be all that we do week 1. Same penalties apply. If it is late, it is 20% off per day late. Then the next week, you'd have a new assignment. It would be body paragraph 1. Now, from that point on, by the way, you can use your document of the week passes, because there's 7 or 8 of you who have them. But when you submit that, what I'd like you to do is resubmit the document that I would have already given you feedback on your intro. And then I'll only be grading you on that next paragraph. Hope that makes sense. So you're just going to resubmit the same document over and over, but you'll be adding to it. If there's any questions with that, we'll have our Zoom on Tuesday, or you can get a hold of me before then. It really doesn't even matter for the first week, but I just want you to keep adding to the same document. Okay, so we have 2 different groups of essays here. We've got the biographies, and we've got the music or the song selection. They're very different essays, but in each case, remember, we're going to end up with 5 paragraphs, and each paragraph must have 5 complete sentences. So know off the bat that week 1, you've got to have 5 complete sentences, and you have to have a full paragraph that has to do X, Y, and Z. But if you only turn in 4 sentences, even if you did everything else, you'd only get 8 points, and so on and so forth. So that's the same for both. I'm going to start off with the biographies. There are a few more biographies than there are songs. So let's go share screen. Okay. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is technically your prompt for your biography. This is way too wordy. Let me simplify this for you, okay? You're going to take the individual that you had approved, and you are going to, of course, write your intro and your conclusion. But your 3 body paragraphs, here's what I'd like them to be about. Body paragraph 1, I want it to be about their early life. Now, for some of you, you have basically people that became famous as children, so you're going to have to do their very early life for body paragraph 1. In that body paragraph, I need 3 verifiable facts, 3 things that I can look up and go, yep, that's exactly right. Their exact birth date, maybe the number of brothers and sisters they had. Find me 3 facts: where they went to school, where they graduated from if they're an older person, where they went to college. 3 definable facts. That's worth 6 points. Fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, each one worth 2 points. And then you get 4 points for just giving me a general vibe of what their early life was like. That's your 10 points for that first paragraph. So if you just list 3 facts, they were born here, they had this many brothers and sisters, and they went to this high school from this year to this year, boom. But there's no narrative in it, then you'll get the 6 points for the 3 facts, but you won't get the other 4 points for explaining, oh, they grew up poor, or they grew up really well off, or whatever it might be. So that's body paragraph 1, early life. Body paragraph 2, that middle paragraph, that's going to be about their civil rights fight. Why do we know them? Why are they so famous? So if you pick one of the Little Rock Nine, you're basically going to be talking about the Little Rock Nine. And you're going to have to, again, have 3 facts about whatever it is they were famous for within the content, within the confines of the civil rights movement. So you're going to give me 3 facts about the event of why they're famous. So, for example, if you did Tommie Smith, he is somebody who during the 1968 Olympics very famously held up a raised black fist during the medal ceremony. So really, the 3 facts in that middle paragraph are going to all be about the Olympics and his stand there and what influenced that. Facts, something we can look up, dates, specifics. And then you get another 4 points for just sort of explaining the context. You didn't just list facts, you kind of gave me the context that it is all in. Now, if you pick, let's see, Robert Kennedy. If you picked Bobby Kennedy, that's going to be, a little bit more of a longer span of civil rights. It's going to start when he's an attorney general for the United States and go all the way up until his presidential election run and then assassination. Okay, so that's body paragraph 2. Body paragraph 3 is different depending on who you have. If you have somebody who was not martyred, who lived beyond the civil rights movement or lived beyond this era of the civil rights movement, I want you to talk about that next phase of their life. They were probably most active and most prominent in the civil rights movement in the 60s and 70s. Tell me what happened in the rest of their life. So if you have one of the Little Rock Nine, there's a lot of history. Tell me 3 facts that, again, are verifiable, that tell me a little bit about, what was it like for Ernest Green after the Little Rock Nine? What was his, post Little Rock Nine career like? And it's extensive. Again, 3 facts and 4, you get 4 points out of this 10 for kind of giving me a good narrative about, you didn't just list 3 facts. Oh, Ernest Green did this, he graduated from here, he did this. You told me kind of what their post-civil rights life was like. If, however, your selection, Emmett Till, Robert Kennedy, Andrew Goodman, I believe, if they were somebody who died in the civil rights movement, your first 2 body paragraphs are the same, but that 3rd body paragraph can't be, because unfortunately they were martyred and they don't have a post-civil rights life. So you are just getting 10 points for giving me a narrative about why it's so important that we study or know about this person. So it's a little bit different. So if you have somebody like Jesse Jackson is still alive and has a very long and important career after the main focus of this unit, which would have been his work with Dr. King. But he, in and of his own right, has a huge impact on the civil rights movement in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. A little bit still today, but he's getting older. So you want to focus on that part of his career, again, with 3 facts and a good narrative. Now, again, if you have somebody who has died, well, let me give you an example. Jefferson Thomas has passed away, but he died of old age within the last 10 years. So you're going to be able to do that final paragraph about the rest of his life after the Little Rock Nine. That's going to be much more clear. It might be things like, they got married to this person, or they had this career and they retired in this year, but verifiable facts. So 5-paragraph essay, intro, body paragraph 1, early life, body paragraph 2, civil rights sort of main impact. What do we know them for? Body paragraph 3, post-civil rights, or if they were martyred, why we should know about them. 5th paragraph, conclusion. In all the body paragraphs, 3 facts, 2 points each. The other 4 points for each body paragraph would be, how good was the narrative? Did you do a good job explaining within the context of these facts their basic impact? Pretty straightforward stuff. Everything has to be cited, of course, okay? Everything must be cited, of course, in the paragraph you're writing, okay? When you're going to submit this 1 paragraph at a time. The only thing to do this Friday is your intro. Okay. Now, again, you can freeze me and read through this if you want, but this is just a wordier way of saying what I just said. For those of you who are doing the song, it is entirely different. Ignore this. It's been 50 for a while for you guys. Okay. For the song, same basic format, 5 paragraphs, 5 sentences each paragraph, intro and conclusion. Okay. Body paragraph 1 for your song. Body paragraph 1 for your song. I want you to, 1, give me at least 1 direct quote from the song. and tell me what the general meaning of the song is. You know, nobody used Edwin Starr's War, but that one's pretty easy. Edwin Starr's War, it starts off, war, what's it good for? Absolutely nothing. Well, I don't, you know, it's pretty easy. Edwin Starr is not a fan of war. Okay. And you're going to have to stretch that out. Now, some of you, especially, I think I have one in mind who's only got, by my watch, 20 minutes left to pick their topic, because I'm recording this on Friday. They're going to get stuck with Alice's Restaurant. Now, that is a 19-minute song with pages and pages of lyrics with deep meaning. That's going to be a lot tougher for them. So you have to explain the message of the song, basically in your own words, but I do want you to use at least one direct quote. And then I want you to tell me in that first body paragraph too, now that you've interpreted the message of the song, do you like it? Do you agree? I want you to tell me whether or not you like or dislike the message and like or dislike the song. I want you to hear it. So body paragraph 1, using at least one direct quote, tell me what the song means, what they're trying to say, and tell me whether or not you like the message and whether or not you like the music. That's body paragraph 1. Body paragraph 2, whatever it is about, you have to give me research on. So in other words, if the song, okay, so there's a song called Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. It's about the Kent State Massacre. So your second body paragraph, if you had the song Ohio, would basically say, the song Ohio, of course, is about the Kent State Massacre. And then you're going to give me a paragraph with 5 facts about the Kent State Massacre. Now, if you're going to do Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles, you're going to give me, the second body paragraph is going to be, hey, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is about LSD. Then you're going to give me 5 facts about LSD, like when it was invented and who created it and how many people died from it or whatever it might be. So that middle paragraph is going to be different for every single song. If your song is about civil rights, you know, you have Aretha Franklin's Respect, then it's going to be, hey, you know, as you know, this was written in the context of the civil rights movement. So here are 5 facts about the civil rights movement. It varies for everybody. That's why you have to have that first paragraph right. Here's what the song's really about. Oh, this is about the draft. Oh, then you have 5 facts in body paragraph 2 about the draft. Whatever your song is going to direct the topic that you're researching for body paragraph 2. And then body paragraph 3, I want you to tell me, I want you to make an argument whether or not today's music is as meaningful. You must provide lyrical proof for your stance. Now, in real life, we all know that some music is pretty meaningful today and some is pretty, you know, fluffy. If your general argument is today's music is not as meaningful, then you must make that argument. And then you must show me at least one lyric from a modern song, we'll say modern within the last 5 years, nothing older than 2015. And you must, if you're going to make the argument music's fluffy today, then give me a really, really fluffy lyric, something of like vapid music that means nothing. Now, if you are making the argument that music today is also just as meaningful, generally speaking, there's always examples on both ends, then you give me a lyrical example of a really meaningful song. So again, you must have, in quotes, lyrics from whatever song you chose to say, hey, today's music is or is not as meaningful. And then, of course, a conclusion paragraph. Those are 2 very different essays, but basically the format is, you know, I think pretty intuitive. Look through this prompt if you want, talk to me about questions, but remember, we've got to have an understanding of how this essay is going to look so that you make sure you write your thesis right. Your thesis for a person is going to be basically, hey, this person, you know, had a rough early life, had such an impact on the civil rights movement, and boy, even after the civil rights movement, they did this, this, and that. Your intro for a song might be, wow, this is an amazing song. It was written in the backdrop of the Kent State Massacre or the Vietnam War or civil rights, whatever it was. And compared to today, boy, this is way more meaningful than today's music. Or it shows examples of meaningful music like we have today. You're going to tie it all together. That's what a thesis does. Okay? If this doesn't make sense, please make sure you talk to me. You get a hold of me and we'll figure this out. Okay? One paragraph at a time. All right, everybody, be safe.